in his quarters.
That's
He's
promising.
feeding live mice to, and his captain of the guard is a tiefling,
Yeah,
which
that much I remember.
the Forgotten Realms is a slightly more enlightened place than it used to be back in the days of, back in the 80s when dark elves were dark elves and goblins were goblins.
Right. So
Tieflings can be good now. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He seemed pretty nice, but
yeah.
So we went to what was it that they told us basically come back later?
Yeah, he called
They said
his
go
wizard
do
man
stuff.
Oh, we're streaming, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Yeah, he called his wizard man in with his skull cap, who they were gonna look into the events that took place in Bryn Shander, and yeah, they want to check it out first before they mobilize any kind of troops to go and do anything really. So they're gonna scout and maybe try to cast some reconnaissance spells to see what they can find. But in the meantime, they said go tour the town.
So, and I think we said we were going to go to the tavern, the three sails,
the three flag sailing,
Three flag sailing, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Partridge will get shot by an arrow.
Oh, delicious barrel full of knucklehead trout.
Mm-mm.
Boy, oh boy.
Can I derail you, Jeff?
I'd rather you didn't, but you can try.
I would like to derail you in the inn immediately. That's where Limdar is.
Yeah.
If you even make it to the end, because y'all hadn't made it there yet.
Limdar is at the end. I cannot switch characters to a less antagonistic party member until you get there. And Gimdar grows more antagonistic by the minute.
Maybe we could just have Gimdar get shanked in the alleyway.
Gimdar doesn't start acting right, his party members are going to shank him.
Gimdar is torn to pieces by dogs. The end.
There's kill Gimdar and his brother is... Then I need to not maybe his brother.
Does Limdar care that much about Gimdar, though? Maybe they had a sordid past.
That's the only thing. If Gimdar goes off to try and save that entire town, and Limdar finds out, does Limdar care enough about Gimdar to go after him?
Limdar trusts Gimdar to get the job done.
That's a horrible family.
Not a I would wade into battle with you. This is more like a Thor and Loki relationship.
Okay, here's a proposed plot twist. Limdar has been trailing Gimdar since he left because Limdar is actually the noble dwarf, and Gimdar is a homunculi that an evil wizard had used to take his place.
I was kind of going in that direction earlier, but it was more like Limdar was watching Gimdar because he knew Gimdar would fuck it up.
Or that would work too.
Gimdar
He's
is
like
real
the dumb
dumb.
brother. He's the idiot brother. That's the whole reason he got sent off in the first place.
He didn't just
because
get sent off. He got sent off with someone to watch him to make sure he didn't get into too much trouble.
Because he's the older brother. They're like, yeah, you got to keep an eye on him.
He's also been paying everyone's tabs the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually do want to make it to the end then?
It's up to the party.
Well,
We're trying to get to the end, yes.
if you're planning on trading out your characters and sending Gimdar off on his suicide mission to Bryn Shander, then we can go, let's... Okay, go to the end first.
We're there. We're at the end. We made it.
Look at that. Y'all made it to the end.
We made it.
That was fast.
And then Limdar appears out of the shadows, grabs Gimdar, and pulls him into the shadows and has a stern discussion with him that no one hears in case it's convenient later.
You just hear a lot of cursing and "you idiot."
Yeah. And then they both walk out of the darkness, and Gimdar said, "This is my brother Limdar. I'm giving him the frost ring. I have to go home and do business for something. Treat him like you would treat me."
Are you sure you're not
Goodbye
going to run off to?
forever.
Are you sure you're not going to run off to Bryn Shander?
Goodbye forever.
He will
Somebody-
journey in my stead.
And he winks at you.
Somebody make sure he doesn't go back there.
And if he does, he does.
Yeah, at this point, it's on him. We've done all we can.
Limdar says he's not going back there. He's going back to see Mommy. His presence has been requested.
Okie dokie. See you, Gimdar.
He throws up the deuces and walks out.
Is Limdar going to be nicer to me? Because you haven't had any characters that are nice to me.
No promises. I could be mean to someone else. Who wants me to be mean to him?
Me.
All right, the barbarian gets it.
So Lindar, introduce yourself to the party officially.
My name is Limdar. I am of the Glowing Heart clan. Relative, older brother of Gimdar the Stupid. I am Limdar the much smarter, much more handsome. He has an eye patch. He has a bushy head as opposed to a slicked back hair. He has similar features. He definitely came from the same family. And he is a mastermind rogue.
You're not going to go running off into towns unprepared, are you?
I don't have time for that shit. I'm here to make sure the job gets done.
Excellent.
Not bad.
So it's Limdar Glowing Heart.
Yes. Limdar, Glowing Heart spelled the same way, obviously. He is also a noble because he's related to Gimdar. And he has much higher intelligence at 14.
Wow, we actually have a smart party member now?
My intelligence is 15, so
Second smartest.
He thinks he's the smartest.
So how does Limdar behave in battles?
I don't know. We haven't seen him yet.
That's true.
I
Just
like
saying,
your dumps.
with a 14 intelligence, it really sounds like you've been playing a lot of Elden Ring and figured out that magic is OP.
He's a rogue, so maybe not magic.
Okay.
pyromancy. That's where it's at.
He's actually
Hey.
got a bandolier of firebombs strapped to his chest.
That seems like a bad idea.
Probably is.
He's ready to die for his god.
He is not. He is not prepared for death. He is only prepared for life. He has a distinct interest in being alive. And Jeff,
So
Okay.
if I recall correctly, you had us roll for some random crazy nonsense that might happen in the future.
That was the path leading in. That was the Wolverines, which
No, I mean this
we
was
handled.
a while back when you had us roll like things about our character.
Oh yeah.
Just apply the same one to Limdar.
Okay.
It's not like it helps at all.
So
No, I get it.
we're at the Three Flags sailing. What's going down? Who do we see?
Upon walking in, you pass by a number of fishermen coming in from the wharf. It was midday when you made your way over here, so I guess it's getting a little bit later in the day. Some of the sailing boats have started to come in since the fishing hours would be a little bit reduced with the weather being what it is. So they are the fishermen are coming in, and you have just entered the tavern. Everyone looks cold and tired,
I don't know if I agree
but
with you.
you look around, and people are seated having some delicious trout stew. You see your friend, the crazy trout dwarf, over there. He raises a flagon at you and waves and digs into a delicious bowl of soup.
I would like to find the proprietor of the Three Flag Sailing.
She is a plump, gray-haired widow named Ethan Yarbrough. Ethan.
Work with a guy that with that name.
Wait,
No,
oh,
no. It is a she. I'm just kidding.
oh.
But the locals know her as Ma, and she is flittering around to the various fishermen, making small talk and hand delivering bowls of trout soup to them, patting them on the back, being
I will
a
approach.
good tavern keeper.
I will approach the tavern keeper and request the finest flagon of ale she has.
She gives you a look and says, "Well, that would be our Kelvin's Cairn stout."
Aye, that is quite the name. I'll have it.
And for your friends,
2 for each of them.
she says, "Well, that'll be how many is that? 2 for each."
Yeah.
There's 4. I can do math.
That's 10. That's 10 total.
Yeah, that'll be 40 gold.
Oh,
Slam the gold on the countertop and say, "Drink up, drink up."
This is coming up. She goes back behind the bar and brings out.
What?
Stop.
That's your friends.
She brings out 8 tall
So much.
flagons of foamy, delicious Kelvin's Cairn stout.
Excellent.
Hold on a
As she.
second.
Oop. Okay. As she steps away, I reach over the counter and I pull an extra flagon back.
I grab another.
Actually, there's a tray of
grab another
flagons.
I just start pumping it into my.
There was a waitress who had a tray of flagons ready to go, and she disappeared as well. Let's just take the tray to our table.
These are
I'm
mine
gonna-
now.
I'm going to continue talking to her. I'm going to see if she has anything of interest to say.
Was that to me?
Yeah, yeah. Now she
Sorry, I
delivers them.
jumped up. The stove was just sitting there with the. She was baking some cupcakes, and it's just sitting there going off. And like after about the 4th beep, I was like, maybe I should just get up and get it because somebody came. So, you ask her if there's anything of interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We be new to these parts. I see it's but a humble fisherman's tavern, but have you heard anything of interest?
She says, "Well, I just heard something of interest from you. You're not from around here. That's news." And she says, you give her the usual spiel about how you've come from the south to save everybody, and she says, "Well, with that being the case, since you're being our saviors and all, half-price drinks." He gives 20 gold back.
wonderful.
Alright,
Ah, thank ye, thank ye.
excellent.
All of the fishermen all perk up hearing that. They look a little less glum, and they all say, "3 cheers for the dwarves from the south."
I mutter under my breath to whoever's sitting next to me if they're in our party. Maybe we should tell them what happened to the last town we came from.
I just. Shh.
Yeah, word hasn't gotten out yet about what happened there, so
That's why I didn't say we
I don't
came
remember-
from.
So maybe we should drink
Gender.
cheaply as quickly as we can.
Mhm.
Ride that high.
She says, well, aside from that, there has been, you know, has been the weather, which I'm sure that you're aware of since you're here. But I do have something a little bit more local if you've got the time to help investigate.
Aye, anything to help.
Well, I've heard that one of our locals, a man by the name of Keegan, has been missing. Keegan's husband, Garrett, lives just a few houses down. If you've got the time, there's not been as much going on here as there has been in some of the other towns. We're a bit more better organized with our infrastructure, if you know what I mean.
I get it. This oppressive winter, it brings down the morale of everybody around. I get it.
Indeed. If you could go talk to Garrett, maybe you could be of some assistance.
It can't hurt to talk to him.
Sure can.
What say you, party?
There's one thing I know is that we're always ready to help a town in need.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But not
right.
go back to other towns.
Shh.
Nope.
Shh.
What-
Without
Shh,
the-
shh. No.
Once we've done such a bang up job, we don't need to go back.
Exactly.
Emphasis on the bang.
We leave them wanting more, if anything else.
Much more.
Well
That's a-
said. Well
That's
said.
that is certainly a way to put it.
Hold on. Before we walk away and immediately go after this first side quest ever, talking to the barmaid or bar wench or bar owner.
The owner. It's
You
not
don't
a
happen to
winch.
be a-
Proprietor of the tavern.
You don't
Maybe
happen to be
don't
a drug
call her a
trafficker,
witch.
do you?
I'm the smart character, remember? Why are you asking us to deal with a simple missing persons quest or missing persons report? This feels like something that the militia should be able to handle.
Local.
Oh, that's right, Limdar. You aren't here. We already talked to the speaker and the head of captain of the guard. They're off doing reconnaissance on something else, so we kind of decided to step in and help out where we could.
That's right.
But this person's been missing for multiple days.
I'm sure that they have talked to somebody at the.
Just for a day or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have, and the local guard has not been interested in tracking down just a single tracker.
Knowing
That's what
them,
he
they were
is.
they're probably waiting a certain amount of time to pass before they decide to actually look into it. So
Ah, fair.
We
Wait till
can-
they're already dead.
yeah, that's why we're going to help out now potentially.
Well, as it's assumed that you've already shown her your magical bracelets, so she is aware that you have a better ability to navigate the wilderness than, say, the local guard.
I would like to convince her that they don't work unless we have more beer.
Roll a deception.
Nope, I'm not good at that.
Or are you?
Or are
Very
you?
good at that.
Her eyes widen. She says, "Bracelets only work if you have more beer." Well,
I'll need a keg strapped to my back.
It's the
She
curse
glanced-
of the job. It's the curse of the job.
she glances back at her stocks and she says, "I could spare a little bit more for Keegan. He's a good boy."
We should all get like hydration packs and fill them with beer.
Mm.
She mentions as she's pouring the flask that Garrett and Keegan have been coming there as long as she can remember, and she does particularly have a fondness for Keegan. So she'd like to see him safely returned if possible.
Oh, he's a good
See-
customer.
Kind of friends.
Son of a bitch.
They have an open tab.
I just had. Fuck.
Did you just bite something? Your teeth fell out?
I had a fucking crown just come off.
Oh shit.
Yeah. When I saw
was
your
just-
face,
I was just at the dentist the other day.
you know, I've seen that exact same look on my dad's face when that exactly what just happened to him.
God damn it. Hang on.
That's wild.
Man, that sucks.
Like my dad has had so much dental work done. He's had like tens of thousands of dollars of dental work done over the years. And we were sitting at the table one time and he was just sitting there and he got like that exact look that Scott just had. And he was like, son of a, and I was like, what happened? He's like, it's like his whole replacement, like got an implant, the whole like crown of it just came off. He like dropped it into his hand and everybody was just like, "Bleh."
I lost a crown eating a grilled cheese sandwich once.
That's very soft to lose a crown to.
The softest.
Well, I think
That's
what it
very
was.
cheesy
It was
sandwich.
when it was when I was in academy the first time, and I would chew a lot of gum to keep myself awake while I was in class, and I guess that loosened it. But then for lunch they gave us grilled cheese, and I bit into the grilled cheese, and my crown came out.
I
Wow.
just don't think that was a good crown to begin with.
And then I dropped it down the sink trying to put dental glue in it.
Oh.
I had a tooth nubbin for like 3 years until I could pay for another one.
Do you want to know what my dad did to repair his last broken implant? Used JB Weld.
Oh my god.
He
Wow.
That
literally
is
used
probably
JB Weld.
terribly
Isn't
toxic.
that like
Yeah.
toxic?
Yeah.
Well, once it's hardened and cured and everything, it's supposed to be like it's just hard.
Yeah, but
So
it's
he took
toxic
it-
while it's not hard.
While it's not hard, and I'm sure it's not the best thing, but it got him through until he made it to the dentist to have it repaired properly. I don't know. He seems to have an awful lot of things go wrong.
I was-
Like,
Because he's putting
I-
JB Weld in his mouth.
no, he was so they were on a
Duct taped
trip.
his arm back on once.
They were on a trip, and it's one of his front teeth, so he didn't want to walk around with his like front teeth, and it could pop. He could pop it back in, but it had cracked
Yeah.
in the middle. So he took the JB Weld and he put it in between the two pieces, and the part that was chipped and broken, it was like a jut. He like put it up in there and like smoothed it. Honestly, it was not very noticeable. Like when it dried, it was actually pretty close to the color of his tooth. It's like I can't believe that actually worked. But
So I can't get the crown to come back out, but because I think it just kind of squished back into place. But I was just at the dentist like on Monday, and they were like, "Everything looks great in your mouth." Like I
good
think
to go. I don't understand how crowns work. I thought that they like drilled into the tooth a little bit so it had like an anchor that would
They
hold
do.
it in place.
they do, and then they cement it, and then once it's down, it's supposed to hold for like 15 years.
Just kidding. You still good to keep going, or
Yeah, there's no pain.
well?
Just won't eat anything. Like I was eating something gummy. I should not have been eating that.
Apparently, you can't eat grilled cheese.
Well, you didn't know though, so
Yeah, you missed that story. I lost a
Yeah.
crown to grilled cheese.
The last time I lost a crown, it was to another very sticky candy, where I was eating it and I just went, and it just popped out.
Laffy Taffy got me one time.
I don't have any crowns, but I've got wisdom teeth back. Oh, wisdom teeth. I've got 2 wisdom teeth, one on this side and one on this side, but this side is like half gone. It's just gone.
You should have the rest of it gone too. Then
Yeah, it's on the list of things to do. Gonna do that soon.
But dental work's expensive.
I still have my wisdom teeth.
I had mine out in like 2007.
I don't plan on having mine removed unless.
Unless
Needed.
this happens.
Yeah.
Unless
They
it's
told
necessary.
me.
Because it's been so long at this point. Like,
It's not fun
It's-
having them yanked out.
well,
Mm-mm.
it's really.
I got put
they
under.
really got. They're really in there now too.
Well, they told me that I had space for him to come in. They were like, "Yeah, you got plenty of room. I wouldn't have him out unless you need to." And then it's like, just make sure you clean him real good. Well, I guess they didn't realize that my gum, like, there's not much clearance back there, so my gums just kind of just passively sit on those teeth. And yeah, I was chewing on something one day. It was right before one of the rare trips that I go on, and I was eating, and it crunched, and I was like, what the was that? So I was like messing with it, and it turns out like there was just a giant pocket of just hardened plaque that was filling a giant hole in the side of it. I was like, that's a great thing to find right before this trip.
I had X-rays done on Monday, and like I know that there's not any cavities under that tooth because they didn't find anything under that crown. I don't know. Fuck. I don't want to go back to the dentist.
Well, let's get back to Icewind Dale.
Yeah.
Yes, she passed out those mugs, and because you scored so high on your deception, you got a third round. She wants to make sure that your bracers, your bracelets, really truly work for you to go find her friend
They're nice and charged up.
Keegan, the scout, or tracker. What would you call it? What would you call a mountaineering man who?
Mountaineering man.
A mountaineer.
A mountain man. One of the few brave souls who actually has been venturing out of the side of the walls.
It's
Give me
not a
that.
good sign if the tracker is lost.
So wait. A crazy person.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Did you get that in love?
Aside from that, the fishermen are all happy to see you. Yeah. You got a good vibe going in here. Stay a couple days.
Should we just stock up on some supplies and head out, or?
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I'm not in desperate need of supplies.
I don't think I am either.
Yeah.
I was just asking, really.
It's very nice of you to ask.
Well, thank you.
The longer we stay in town, the more beer we'll need to consume to keep our bracers charged up.
So we better head out. I don't want to drink these people out of house and home.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get more beer and mead when you can't get, wheat and honey.
Yeah, we're gonna hit a point
You're gonna drink the 10 towns
where
dry.
we're gonna need the people to be alive to be able to farm.
Yeah.
So we got to start rescuing some people.
So
Gotta start at
It sounds like I convinced the rest of the party that was true as well.
We're not all smart like you, Limdar.
Everybody's glancing down, checking the bracelets, like,
Wow, they do feel more power. I do feel warmer.
You feel more hardened after beer.
Never thought of that before.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So yeah, it's probably good to stock up on just basic supplies while you're here. I don't think anybody's done that since back in Bryn Shander. It hasn't been that terribly long, but
Yeah, but
Drop,
we've gone back to the inn almost every day.
that's true.
I still have all my rations. I've got potions.
Everybody's
I'm
good?
good to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm good to go.
Oh shit, that's huge!
Whoa.
That's
back
a
molar.
huge crown.
Oh, what was it?
Just came out again.
His fucking tooth.
Oh, I missed it.
It'll be on stream. You can watch it again later.
Go back and review for just for the molar.
We'll do
Be
some-
like the most views we've ever gotten, and it's only because of his mole.
Keep
I'll go
going.
back and
I'll
do
be
some
right back.
post editing.
Okay.
And blow up that part of the screen.
Just don't call this video Targos. Call it dental mishap.
New friends and lost teeth.
Throw in some like MTV cut edits of the whole thing happening.
All right.
Alright.
So after drinking, I don't know. After drinking your fill, party staggers out of the Three Flag sailing to.
We're dwarves.
Garrett's
we don't stagger
house.
after a couple of beers.
Oh,
We
that's true.
stagger all the time.
Well, yes. Because we're always drunk.
We're in a constant state of staggered.
Down to Garrett's house, which is right here.
All right.
Mark it with a big old X. Red X. A short walk away. The journey there is uneventful. You're not waylaid by drunken fishermen or packs of wild dogs.
It's only like a block away.
No frost druids attack you.
A lot can happen in a block.
Roll for initiative.
It's like everyone
The
was like
Kraken.
glancing over their shoulders all the time.
Refresh
The
my memory.
Kraken.
This town, I know this town was directly north, right, of where we
Yes.
came from,
Mhm.
and it's sitting. So this is a bay, and this is a large. Is this an ocean?
It's one
Or-
of the lakes.
Okay.
What are they called?
So is there something on the other side of this that's in, or on this continent that we're worried about? Is there another town?
There are actually 3 adjoining towns
Okay.
on the shores of this lake.
Okay.
So Targos is it's Mare Duladon is the name of this lake, and it's one of the bigger lakes. Actually, I take that back. It is the smallest lake, but they're all about the same size. There's 3 large lakes. There's the Redwaters to the south. There's Lac Dinashir to the east, and then Mare Duladon is the north.
Okay.
And there are 4 different towns that fish on this lake. There's
Okay.
Bremen, which is just to the northwest. There's Tourmaline, which is to just along the shores to the east, and there is Lonelywood, which is the smallest. I think it's the smallest of the 10 towns, or it's one of the smallest. It's just a little tiny hamlet, but there's actually it's one of the few forested sections of the 10 towns, so it's actually pretty close to here.
Cool.
Just up the river. I mean the shore of the lake there.
Excuse me.
Here, I'll just move you guys back over here so you can see what I'm looking at. As you're walking.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought I
No.
remembered. I just wasn't sure.
Hey, while we walk from town to town, I want to leave a message on a tree. Druids can leave secret messages that only other druids can see.
I don't think
Okay.
we're not leaving the town though. We're
I thought we were.
we're walking down the street a little bit inside the town.
Oh, never mind. The map confused me.
Yeah, I was just popping back over there so you could see.
Disregard.
You could still do that though. I think that's a great idea.
Well, maybe once I get out of the town. You said no subject.
Don't worry. That might be coming soon. Depending on how the party chooses to act on this information from Keegan.
Well, let's go see him. Knock on the door.
Yeah.
Knock knock.
Knock knock. It's a small house. There is a small window, and you can see a fire blazing inside. Keegan is a tall, handsome, middle-aged man with dark facial hair. He opens the door and leans out and says, "Can I help you?"
We've been entrusted to find your friend Harris. Harris was the name?
I think it was actually husband.
Garrett. He looks at you and says, Garrett, yes. Yes, Garrett is my husband.
All right. It was Garrett, or not? It wasn't Harris.
Nope, it's Garrett.
I don't know
You
where
can
I
call
got
him Harris.
from.
Okay.
Good old Harry.
He ushers you inside and offers each of you a cup of warm cider and says, "Please, please, come in, come in." Yes, he's been gone for a bit over a day now, which is unusual. Typically, his expeditions don't take very long outside of the walls. It's a little hard to get very far away these days, given the cold.
About how far does he usually go?
Typically, he just heads towards the Dwarven Valley and then back.
Do you know where he happened to be going this time?
I'm sorry. Are you all familiar with the local area?
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay, to the east here, just a bit of a journey out. Not so much for him. He's a experienced mountain man, as I call him. He'll go foraging for just basic supplies, roots, any game that he can catch, and then venturing back. He heads towards the Dwarven Valley, which is in the direction of Kelvin's Cairn, and then heads back.
So he
Is there-
goes the same place every time.
Typically.
Is there anything he usually worries about when he heads in that direction? Bears,
Well-
wolves, frost druids,
Yeti.
goblins, yetis, that kind of thing.
Ex-husbands.
He laughs. He says, "No ex-husbands. I'm the only one." No, typically, it's usually just wolves. There has been talk of some strange animal behavior around.
Strange how?
Talking animals and the like.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
he's-
we met those. That's just
Talking animals.
Did you meet the Wolverine?
I did meet the Wolverine. He's
He
such
had
a-
nothing but nice things to say about that Wolverine.
Such a sweet.
He's mentioned him several times.
Was he acting different before he went out this time?
No, nothing unusual. There was a party of I don't want to say a party. There were several dwarves that had been staying in the town that were interested in trying to get back to the Dwarven Valley, and he offered to take them along with him. He's
What
done
did
that
they look
before.
like?
That's not terribly unusual.
Oh,
But he disappeared when he did it this time.
I wouldn't say he's disappeared. He's just late coming back
Then why are you concerned?
because he's never late coming back.
So he's disappeared.
this man's
looks around, he
husband,
says,
Limdar. I don't think semantics.
suppose you
are
could say it
exactly
that
what
way.
we need to worry about.
Yeah, let's not lose hope.
Limdar rolls
Yes.
his eyes.
He is currently missing at this exact moment. I was hoping that, well, if you were sent over by Ethan,
Who's
I was hoping
Ethan?
that
The
Ma,
bar proprietor.
yeah,
Oh.
Ethan,
Does she have a name tag?
Ethan.
She never told us her name outright.
I don't think she did.
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
You caught it. You caught it in passing.
We definitely caught
They-
it. We just don't
Everybody
remember
was
catching
calling
it.
her Ma. Everybody was calling her Ma.
I remember that. Yeah.
You all exchange puzzled looks when he says Ethan. He says Ma over at the tavern.
Ma.
Oh, Ma.
You know,
Ma.
Ma. Mama of the Mama clan.
I should rename the inn Ma's Place.
Call it the Mama's place.
Ma's house.
Ma's bar.
You guys saw Dread, right?
Uh-huh.
The Mama clan.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go glue this crown in.
Okay.
Don't use JB
Um,
Wheel.
Got JB Weld.
Yeah. It works. It works. That was not. He didn't weld it in place with the JB weld. He repaired the implant that popped out. That broke.
Still,
You're
broken
not going
half
to
and
convince me
fell
that
out.
this was a great idea.
no.
I'm still not sold on it.
Well, it is my dad, so he's the master at rigging things up.
I have a
Like, yeah, I
grandfather
fixed
that
it.
does that, and we call him Poppy. And every time he fixes something, we call it a Poppyism.
Poppy it.
Like when we had to sell his house, I'm terrified of any kind of like electrical work or
Wiring.
like an inspector comes in because he'd been tinkering on it for like 30 years.
Dude, my friends, they bought this house
Mhm.
and it came with this whole shack out back, and
The murder
Um,
shack.
he was out digging. Come to find out, the way they had powered this shack was literally like a Kmart brown extension cord. He had run like 3 of them and
Oh my
buried them
God.
under the ground.
That is exactly what my grandfather would do.
Look, it's natural
Yeah.
insulation.
I was like, who thought this was a good idea? And how did
Definitely
it-
heard of
What
this.
was surprising was it held up for as long as it did. I mean, I gotta give it to him.
That's why I did 3 of them instead of
If
1.
you're gonna violate code, at least,
violate it all the
Go
way.
hard.
at least make
Just
it work.
go full heal. The people that at my house, there was a cable that was run somewhat underground, but at least they put it in conduit. Like they had it in a conduit pipe that was under there, and it looked like it was rated right, but even so, it was just buried right on the surface. I don't know. It just seemed kind of sketchy the way that they had it set up. I don't know how you would do it differently, like to run power cable out. I would assume you would use conduit, but
I think that's probably a great idea.
yeah. I didn't go digging and bust through the cable. Like I could see where it went into the ground, but there were a lot of things that were wrong with the deck other than that. That was actually the one thing that looked like it was probably done correctly. The rest of it was like, I know that technically you can bury pressure treated wood underground. It's rated to be buried, but everywhere that they did so, all of the posts are rotted. Every single post was just rotted. There was no footing poured. There was like nothing underneath it. It was just like buried in the ground. So
Well, like part of it is like putting rocks that water can drain through and cementing and then
yeah, doing it properly so
Right.
that it doesn't rot. But they didn't do that. They just buried it.
Keep discovering things about this house because it was a flip house that he didn't know what he was doing, and he also ran out of money. So, like the light fixtures, he screwed them in so that the wires are twisting in the wrong direction. So when you're trying to change out like a light switch, you have to like do the screw a little bit and then reach in and unwrap the wire, and then do the screw and then reach in and unwrap the wire.
Got creative with it. Well, the house in hell. So my parents rented this place in Maggie Valley, and they were in, and it was obviously that something that they had like purchased and then flipped it. Like you could just see the telltale signs of like somebody just like went through and renovated it and made it look like freshened the place up. And while they were there, the ceiling fan fell from the ceiling.
Oh man!
Because thankfully they weren't in the room, But when they came back, it was just laying in the floor, and they were like, "What the heck?" And when the repairman, the local repairman came, they had put a box up in the ceiling with no, it wasn't up against a stud or anything. It was just like it had these tabs. So they had stuck it in the ceiling and twisted these tabs to hold it in place. And then they mounted, which would be fine for just a light fixture, but not for a ceiling fan. So he was like, "Yeah, I know the guy, and I don't think he knows what he's really doing."
Clearly.
It was wild. Like there was just a gaping hole in the ceiling. He put like a plate over it. He's like, "Yeah, I'll come back and fix this tomorrow." And then he came and mounted one like over to the side, but there was just a plate up there the whole time. It's like, wow, people don't know what they're doing.
Speaking of not knowing what we're doing, so this missing husband.
Yeah. So the last time he was going out towards the Dwarven Valley. I'm gonna move you guys back over to the
We are moved.
map page again.
Oh, we're not.
Now you've been moved. He's going to point it out. You unroll your handy dandy 10 Towns map that you received back in Bryn Shander, probably. Typically, he goes from the gates out to about right here and then back. Doesn't typically take more than a day or so. He knows all the trails and paths, so his progress is pretty speedy. Usually comes back with some small game. Every once in a while, he'll catch something a little bit bigger, maybe a caribou, so it takes him longer. And I'm hoping, he says as he describes the path, he says, "I'm hoping that that's what's happened, and it's just taking him longer to get that gold, tasty piece of meat back here."
Hey.
Hey.
Listen, I don't need to hear about your sex life.
He laughs.
Oh, you're
He's-
talking
I'm
about what
just
he was
kidding.
hunting.
Yes, I was talking about the caribou. But that does put you guys in the general direction of Kelvin's Cairn, which was kind of somewhere you were thinking about investigating anyway. Given the dwarves have kind of gone MIA. Shh.
I think it'll be difficult to go out there, rescue someone, and come back and collect a reward, and also go to Kelvin's Card in the same trip.
That's true. It'll at least get you familiar with the path should you decide to head in that direction at some point.
Well, hopefully, like this guy says, we're just gonna be helping Keegan drag a big catch.
Delicious caribou back.
Yeah.
He says typically he'll go out with our beloved pet wolf. His name is Boy.
Boy.
Could I call it boy?
Or
I'm just in a comment that it's funny that Wizards of the Coast has tried to branch out with the same-sex unions, and they named the dog Boy. I don't know. It just seems like an odd name, but good try.
They tried so hard.
Minor overlook.
And then they called the dog Boy. I don't know. Anyway, he usually takes Boy out with him, and yeah, should be. He looks over at Gwynria. He says, "You would appear to be pretty in tune with nature,
I am.
judging by your attire.
I will
Are you a
definitely.
druid by chance?"
I am. In fact, that's why I have a gaggle of dogs following me.
And they're just like
Yes, which are
barking
piled
out
up
the window.
outside. They're all just like nuzzled up against you at all times.
Yes, take care of my baby.
He says, "Well, it should be fairly easy to track him with your wolf pack there." I'd be eternally grateful. I don't have a lot to give you, but I do have. He goes over and he looks around in his armoire and he pulls out some very fine scrimshaw artwork. Because I am a scrimshander by trade, so I can definitely give you some of my artwork. I'll admit it's not much, but it is what I have.
Ooh,
I'll accept it.
absolutely.
Really, I'm just doing this for any other lover of nature.
Well, hold on. Before we accept a job that we don't know how much it's going to pay,
Could I hire you to fashion a scrimshaw handle for my battle hammer?
So
We'll talk after
absolutely.
we find Keegan.
So I guess did he show us the artwork?
Yes.
Is it carved from bone?
It's carved from knucklehead trout bone.
Nordak gets visibly excited. Oh man, I've always wanted one of these. I've heard the legends of you scrimshaws up here.
Says, well, it's what we're known for. It's one of our main exports. It's kind of like ivory, really. Ever heard of an oliphant?
It's really good beer.
An
I
Oliphant.
have. I have, in
Oliphant.
fact.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that used to be vodka. Good vodka.
so this is like a military town, right? But they're also known for their art.
That's what everybody in the Tin Towns is good for, basically.
Well,
Our major export
Yeah.
to the rest of the world is
The knucklehead trout is like
Scrimshaw and
the
Navy
main
go
export
hand
of
in
the Tin
hand.
Towns. They fight over the lakes all the time over good fishing spots.
Yeah, Scrimshaw and the Navy go hand in hand. Makes sense.
He looks at Nordak and seems surprised that you know so much. He says, "Well, you know your Tin Towns pretty well there." So that's true. And Targos gets the biggest hauls for sure.
We will gladly go out
Most
and
of
check
us are.
on Keegan to see what is befallen him, if anything has befallen him.
He looks over at Balcom. He says, "I could definitely modify your weapons for sure. I think
Awesome.
that's absolutely. I can make some alterations."
Cool. Well, let's go find Keegan.
Oh, wait. Oh, I wonder if any of my dogs would be good at scents. Searching by scent.
Yeah.
Well, if we have to
Definitely.
roll for every single one of them, we're likely to succeed.
I'm gonna ask the husband if he has anything that has his husband's scent on it, like maybe some dirty clothes.
What was Keegan's husband's name? I've forgotten that.
Garrett.
It was Harris.
Garrett.
Harry.
Garrett. That's right.
Harry
How could I
Lou.
forget?
Keegan and Garrett. He pulls an old dirty sock out from the.
Why did I know it was
Laundry
gonna be a
basket.
sock?
We haven't done laundry in 2 days, just in case.
Yeah.
I
That's a
take-
trusty
I
dog
mean-
scent sock.
This is our tracking sock.
Yeah, keep it in case of emergency.
He gives
take
he
it-
gives you one sock for each dog.
Well, I was just gonna give it to
Got like
the
80
head dog.
dogs.
I do have quite a horde.
This poor guy's not gonna have any socks when he finds them.
I let my head dog sniff the sock and see if he is interested by it, if he seems to respond.
Flinches visibly, it smells that bad.
The dog vomits. The dog starts retching, rolling
Dog.
on the ground.
Empties his stomach onto the floor.
A whole squirrel pops out.
And then runs out the window.
And starts running. Yes. It's making horrible racket. Yes, the dog starts sniffing around and sniffing all over the room. Obviously, his scent is heavy here, but you guide him out the door, and he seems to pick up the trail, or she, the dog, picks up the trail. Is it a he or she?
He.
He picks up the trail and heads towards the south gate.
Well, hold on. Before we leave, we should see if we can double up and make a little bit more. There's probably more stuff to do out there.
So you want to queue up
Probably
the
so.
side quest log, basically.
If we're going to do side quests, we should queue up the side quest log.
Well, you could check and see if your dwarven friends from Bryn Shander, Ellen, and
I'm sorry, we've never been to Bryn Shander.
well,
That's exactly what we should be advertising.
out of character, you could check with your dwarven friends, Corona, Storn, Corux, and even ask Scramsax if he wants to go along.
I don't want to ask Scramsax anything.
Scrapsack seems like a real stand-up guy. We should probably bring him with us.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same Scramsax?
Yes.
So Limdar has probably crossed paths. So the crazy trout dwarf was at the Three Flag Sailing. So Limdar has been talking to Scramsax.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're good friends. They go way back.
Oh, okay. So Limdar has been to the 10 Towns before then.
Scrimsax has been south before
Oh, okay.
in his adventuring days.
Sure, he is a veteran. He's been all over the place. So there you go. Limdar is vouching for Scramsax. But just a suggestion, if you really want to queue up the side quest, you could see if the Bryn Shander party is interested in coming along to, in the direction of Kelvin's Cairn.
I'm a hesitant to increase the party. I don't want to share more of the loot than we have to.
Oh, got it. Well, you could certainly... All right, I've got a table for this. Roll a d10.
Go for it, Limmy.
Big O4. It's basically a crit success.
Basically.
Okay.
Basically.
So, you leave the cabin.
And immediately get mauled.
Leave Keegan's cabin. And as you are walking along, the main road, well, it's not even really the main road, as you're traveling along, roll a perception check.
I can perceive things.
I'm pretty good at perceiving.
All of us?
Everybody roll a perception check.
I'm
Yeah,
not good
everybody.
at perceiving things. Not good at all.
I'm all right.
Therefore, haha.
Gwendria sees the arrow as it strikes Limdar.
As it pierces his skull, he falls dead to the ground.
10.
Oh.
Gwynria, as the party is walking along, you see Limdar
Die?
at the head he's in the middle of the party as you're walking. You see
What a way to go.
his coin purse begin to lift and It's almost like an invisible hand is lifting his coin purse to get a feel for how many coins are inside.
Well, now hold on. As a lifter of coin purses, I would definitely know if I'd been pickpocketed.
Not what? Well, yeah, you'll find out eventually. But Gwynria sees it. Gwynria notices it happening as it's happening.
I'm gonna reach over and like swat near the like where it seems to be lifted at. SWAT and see if it's an invisible hand.
As you reach for my my coin purse, I smack your hand away.
You're not paying attention.
I am paying attention. You just tried to rob me.
So
No,
when you
don't
go
see me
to
swiping.
when you go to swat at the air, your hand connects with something that feels solid, and you hear a grunt. How hard did you swat? Was it a gentle swat or like a heavy?
No,
like,
it was
Or
not
like
a
you
gentle.
used your
It
mace.
was heavy. Like I want to try and grab whatever it is. Like
you're trying to. So
I'm trying to grab it.
okay, but you can't see it. So roll a strength check at disadvantage.
Oh.
Bye-bye coin purse.
Yeah, the coin purse rips off of Gimdar's waist, but when you go to swat at whatever it is, you hear a loud grunt and a curse in Dwarvish, and footsteps appear in the snow at your feet as it runs off.
I'm gonna knock an
My
arrow
friends,
at that direction. I'm gonna
We have an invisible dwarf.
like as soon as the coin purse is lifted, like yanked off my body, I'm gonna be reaching for a weapon and launching arrows in that direction.
Okay. Coin purse falls to the ground. And you hear more cursing in Dwarvish. Basically saying, "Son of a bitch! Bastard!" And it runs off. You launch an arrow in that direction. And as you're watching, the footprints go from being normal dwarf-sized footprints to very tiny footprints.
We've got
And
to change.
disappear. They disappear through the side alley between two of the houses.
Is it fair to?
Chase it.
Is yes. Let's do that. We can talk about stuff later.
Yeah, no
Run it
talking,
down.
just chasing. With my little dwarven legs.
Following.
So you're following it. You're about right here.
Like I am
It's-
running
it-
behind it with bow drawn, and anytime I like see footsteps, I'm knocking arrows at that direction.
It has squeezed into a tight space between these two houses right here.
Can an
So
arrow
you guys
fit?
are squeezing in. Yeah, an arrow can fit.
Arrow.
Um,
An arrow's gonna fit then.
roll roll d20 to see if you actually hit the very small target.
To be fair, he is hopefully stuck.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Do I just see the arrow
The,
hanging in the air?
The arrow does hang in the air. You hear more cursing in Dwarvish.
Come on back, laddie.
Say we should
It
all
keeps
understand
running.
what it's saying.
Yeah, you are. It's saying, "You stupid bastard, prick, son of a bitch." It's just curse. It's cussing you out.
Not just my knee.
It
Can't be an
continues
adventurer
through the
anymore.
alleyway. That arrow is not enough to stop it, and it continues. Through the
Another
alleyway.
arrow.
Well, now we can follow it.
Yeah, we follow the blood.
Well, and the bouncing arrow floating through the air.
Well, that too. So yeah, we
All
chased
right,
the
I'll give you one chance to chase it down. Roll another d20.
Okay.
Actually, let's flip a coin. Let's do that.
But I want to roll a d20.
I don't have a. All right, fine. Roll.
That's
a d20.
still flipping a coin. 1 to 10 is heads.
Yeah. Roll a d20.
Shit.
Bam!
You catch back up with the invisible tiny dwarf. Then,
Shrinking dwarf, right?
well, now
we'll
the
see.
dwarf is. So you chase it around the corner, and it's cornered in this alleyway over here. So you've chased the dwarf through the alleyway, you followed it around, and now you're in this alleyway right here. As you round the corner, you hear the knocking of crossbows.
Looks like we're up for a fight.
The small dwarf, now the footprints look much bigger. That's grown back to its original size.
Dwarf
And
size?
actually, they're bigger than dwarf size.
Uh-oh.
And you hear the knocking of multiple sets of crossbows, and in Dwarvish, a deep voice says, "I'd turn right on around if I were you, friends."
Are they all invisible?
They're all invisible. And there are footprints in the snow that are all much bigger than they look like they should be.
Dwarves don't steal from dwarves, friends.
The deep voice says, "Again, get lost."
Again, you stole from us. I demand restitution.
Your coin purse is laying back on the ground. I didn't even make off with it. You hear the one say.
I definitely scooped it up, and that's not good enough. Fancy trick being invisible.
Roll. What would that be? What would a general knowledge roll be?
History.
History? Yeah. Everybody roll a history check. See if you know what kind of dwarves can turn invisible and shrink and grow.
Invisible, shrinking, growing.
Not dwarves, changelings.
Who was the first person that rolled? There's no name tag there.
That was me. It was Gimdar, Limdar.
Leaf doesn't know anything. I only know kill.
Leaf is just running around after everyone with his warhammer out, just like
Let's do it. Let's kill him.
Get him.
I don't know what to
Says-
do.
Tell me where to swing. Tell me what to hit. So the general party at large, with the exception of Leaf and Gwynry, is probably somewhat vaguely familiar. You would know that these are the Wergarth?
They're what?
Where
The
Garth?
Wergar. They are evil gray-skinned dwarves that dwell typically in the Underdark.
And they can turn invisible.
They can turn invisible innately, and they can also shrink and grow.
Okay, we have a decision to make here. Are we racist against not dwarves?
No.
We are against goblins.
I'm
Just
a
need to
They're
pretty-
know.
still dwarves.
Balcom's a pretty peaceful, serene guy.
Yeah,
So we're okay with Underdark dwarves.
yeah.
I have
Okay.
less of a racial bias against this and more of a "you stole from us" bias.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with the whole Underdark. It has to do with you stole from us.
Let's see. Let me see if there's a handout so I can show you what they look like. There you go.
How close, Leaf? How close are you to their general vicinity?
I would have been right in the front.
Turn the light on.
So like,
Yeah.
I have some idea about how we can attack invisible people. And I'm down for that.
I'm always down for something.
You're always down for something.
Like this is,
Before we start fighting these guys, because they haven't taken anything from
but they
us,
have
right?
picked a fight,
Well, yes,
and they've been dicks about it.
possibly.
They're probably
but who
doing this to
hasn't from
others as
time to
well.
time?
And you know, this is obviously an issue in the Tin Town. I thought we were here to help them.
You're right. I just wanted to ask. We're looking for someone.
That is true. You're asking the dwarves? The dwarf?
I am. Hmm.
Yeah, that short little fucker that stole from me. That's who we're looking for.
No, Limdar.
That's me. You found me.
Oh, there he is. Good.
Been here the whole time.
No, we're looking for someone.
You hear the dwarves kind of like away from the party a little bit, kind of like whispering back and forth to each other. It's like, well, what concern is that of ours?
They don't go outside the city. They're cowards.
Well, you've seen someone walk past here. I mean, even if you shook them down, it doesn't matter. I don't care. We just need to find them.
Well, who are you talking about?
Can anybody describe this person?
His name is Harry.
Yeah, so in the course of talking with Keegan, you probably would have been given at least a vague description of Garrett. Garrett is...
I would certainly hope so,
Ooh.
or else he would like just pass us in the square and would be
Yeah,
like,
just a dude. Just a random dude. He's
at
a
the
rugged,
grocery
bearded-
store.
Rugged, bearded man in his prime.
He's a mountaineering guy, right?
Yeah, he obviously looks the part of a mountain man.
A
got a
hunter
thick
you've probably
beard.
seen around these parts before.
I'm picturing the guy from Frozen.
Which one,
Mention
Hans
that-
or the guy who runs the shop?
Is Hans the bad guy? The good guy that's in Frozen?
Oh, not Hans. Kristoff.
Yes, I'm picturing
Kristoff.
Kristoff.
Yeah, think Kristoff with a thick, bushy beard, and instead of being, and he's covered in like
Like leathers and stuff?
pelts.
Yeah, pelts.
Yeah, leathers and pelts. Yeti pelt. Something that would help him blend in with the snow. He's camo.
So you mean he could be right in front of us and we wouldn't know?
You've probably seen them around these parts. I'm told he hunts frequently.
He doesn't typically hunt in the city.
I thought we were out in the woods.
We're in the
I thought we-
city.
Him.
We're still in
I'm
the city.
sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought we were like getting Robin Hooded out in the woods. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that. I apologize.
So we can fight now?
No, I still would. Yeah,
Well-
I have less of a reason to ask these guys about if they saw him now. Yeah.
have you
'cause I-
heard about anybody else going missing?
Yeah.
You
This feels like very cheap intel we could get elsewhere.
you describe to the invisible dwarves who are aiming crossbows at you.
The way
You're just standing there like,
kill
yeah,
them.
he's about this tall. He's got a dog. Have you seen him? And they're like, you hear whispering. It's like, yeah, you got some good pelts off of that guy the other day. Like he comes through here fairly often.
Oh yeah, you steal him? You just take him from him?
Sure did.
All right.
Did
Good
you
for you. Looks like we're gonna
What-
get some pelts,
what-
boys.
When's the last time you saw that guy?
What were we trying to say to you?
Oh, I just asked, did you kill him?
He said, no, we did not kill him. We haven't killed anybody yet. Although we might have to kill
I mean,
you.
You're taking
Although
everyone's
back off.
livelihood. We might as well
I
kill
don't
you.
I don't think so. You don't, you know.
I have a question. Is the ground covered in like snow or dirt or gravel?
It's snow.
We see foots in the snow.
Yes. And they are footprints that look larger than normal. You're welcome to roll perception to see if you can ascertain how many dwarves there are.
Well,
Yes.
I'm not worried about how many there are. That's
I-
a future us problem. That's not a now us problem.
Fearless.
Now
very
Leaf
fearless.
is wondering how many dwarves he has to smash.
I propose this solution. I have this thing that lets me use my bonus action to help out party members and give them advantage on attack rolls.
Oh my goodness.
And I know that we can fight invisible non-combatants at disadvantage, but if it's at an advantage, it'll be like a regular fight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What did you do? Straight for the food.
You're not wrong.
So
As you're debating, as you're all
not
standing
debating,
there
I'm telling
staring
them
off
I'm
into
gonna do something.
as you're all standing there staring off into space, imagining the scenario, they fire their crossbows at you.
All of them?
All of them.
A
Well,
duck.
that was extremely rude.
That was
Yep.
extremely antagonistic.
The darts that hit you are not regular sized crossbow bolts,
They're
thankfully, but
ballistas.
they're yes. They are giant
Well,
arrows from Dark
crap.
Souls.
Now I'm dead.
A tree pierces each party member.
These are Dark Souls arrows.
I can
Your
take
body's
it.
ragdoll. Ragdoll physics. The arms are just flying all over the place,
Yeah.
vibrating in place. No, they are hand crossbow bolts, small. They don't really deal much damage. Actually, it barely even hurts when they hit. But everyone feels extremely drowsy now. So, roll some Constitution saving throws.
We're all dwarf. Wait. I have a question. Is this poison?
This poison.
We have
Sleeping
advantage
poison.
on poison saving throws as dwarfs.
If you want to continue the fight, yeah, absolutely. If
I
you
don't
wanna
know why we
continue
would
this encounter,
not continue the fight.
I agree. Winria saves for sure.
Yeah.
The dart hits, and she feels a slight wave of drowsiness,
I have advantage, so that 3 is a 20.
shakes it off.
Actually, we all have advantage because we're all dwarves.
Yep.
So Leaf is the only one affected.
He's the one I wanted to not be affected.
Nordak is not rolled because he is not present because of his
So he's currently
tooth.
he got lost on the way. He wouldn't fit
So
through
Leaf-
the hole in the wall.
Leaf. You fall.
Hold
into
on
a
one
deep
second.
slump.
You made us level up last time, and I'm trying to make sure like the
There's not some
totems. Yeah.
jank that you can pull.
You just got like all of a sudden totems sprout out of the ground. And you're like, I'm awake.
Well, let me get this
Caffeine
battle map pulled up
powers.
then.
I really needed the melee person to be able to melee Leaf.
Yeah. Well, I tried my best. Okay.
Tried so hard with your dice roll.
Wait, did I get that? Ah, I got something to fix it. It's okay.
I don't
What was
know.
wrong?
He might not want to be fixed.
I want to be fixed.
I hear that's not reversible.
Being drowsy?
No, being fixed. I've been watching a lot of feral cat TikTok, so
Why?
It's funny.
that's the
The feral
algorithm.
cats.
Yeah, I get like feral cat rescue TikTok now for some reason. It's great.
Oh, like where the people are trying to like rehab the cats and they're just mauling their hands and stuff.
It's like an outdoor cat shelter with low interaction.
So what's the comedy here? Is it that the people are getting mauled by cats?
It's not comedy. It's informative.
Oh, I see. You're watching it because you want to know how to rehab feral cats.
No, but I'm learning.
You'll know when the time comes.
When the
When you
time
find a
comes.
dumpster full of kittens,
Jeez.
you'll be
Feral.
ready. Full of feral kittens.
They're sharp.
All right.
I don't know if I could do
Well,
it.
I'm gonna pull up this battle map then.
We're gonna
they
throw
were-
down with
they
these
were-
guys.
All right.
They were hoping that they could
They could
sneak
get away
back
with this.
off. Yeah, but they were hoping that that would happen, but
They stole from the wrong
The-
people.
the party had other plans.
We didn't
It's
have any
fine.
plans until they had plans.
Their plans fucked with our plans, if anything.
Don't start none, won't be none.
It's true. They done effed up AA Ron. All right. So I'm gonna.
So did you say I'm poisoned or am I asleep?
You're asleep.
All right.
Probably didn't help that you drank all that beer.
Yeah, this is just his hangover.
And then let's see. I gotta find some pups. Where them pups at?
Oh yeah, we outnumbered them like 20-1 because of the dogs.
Yeah, they were really hoping not to.
Not to throw down with 18 feral dogs.
Maybe
Yeah,
they should have thought about that before they started trying to steal from us.
It's a good point.
Think before you seize.
I'm just piling on the dogs.
Can't
How
see-
many is it now? It's like 5, 6, right?
It's either 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly.
I literally thought it was 18.
No.
How do you not keep up with your dogs?
Well, I keep.
She's not a good she's not a good truant. She's only level 3.
Well, that and I keep just inviting more animals into the fray. So
We've noticed.
I don't know how we're gonna feed them.
they can feed themselves for the most
Yeah, they're
part.
already starving at this point. They're all starving at this
They
point.
all attack at disadvantage. How willing
So
are
how-
you to let the dogs into combat, D?
What?
How willing are you to let the dogs into combat?
For this, I'll probably have them hold back at least for a while.
Well, I don't have to worry about the invisibility because upon firing, they become visible. So
Oh, good. Can we see the battle map?
no, no,
We're all
can't.
blindfolded.
We're not doing that.
So they are invisible.
There you go. Battle map. That's where the dog threw up after smelling the sock. Right there.
Oh, I never did make a new token. I need to make a token.
I know. I was like, I could fix that real quick, or we can just get to the fight.
Do the fight. I'll make my own token real quick.
Also, the way you have
Leaf.
your name written, it makes it look like your name is Glimdar.
That's what it is. Sometimes it's Limdar, sometimes it's Gimdar, sometimes it's Galimdar.
You're asleep.
All I'm hearing is like Glinda from Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes.
Wizard of Oz.
From Wicked, you mean?
Yes.
Nobody actually compares that to the actual story anymore. It's Wicked.
Galinda.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Wicked.
I do too.
Wicked's great. I have the book.
The book is alright.
I've read the book. I've never seen the musical.
It's fantastic.
I have the playlist
Have you ever heard?
on Spotify.
Have you heard the songs? Yeah,
Yeah, a
I
couple.
got the CD somewhere. I went and saw it at the Fox like 10 years ago,
That's awesome.
12 years ago.
Wicked.
It feels like it's been forever now.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
before
we
times.
I went to the Fox to see it probably about 10 years ago. My coworker
We-
bought a whole section, so the
Nice.
tickets were cheaper.
That's very cool.
That's awesome. All right, well, this is where we're at. You got a whole gang of Rhaegar. They were hoping not to fight, but they're gonna fight you now.
Wait, what do you
They're-
mean they were hoping not? They started it.
They were just gonna sleep you in. They were gonna sleep you and run off.
Whoops.
Taylor,
They
They
should
were gonna
have
leave you there in the snow to die.
you get a slightly larger soda.
they should have been nicer about it.
Although, to be fair, it's also possible that they might have just slit your throats after y'all fell asleep. So
Well,
that's also a possibility too. Dwargar are not known for being very friendly or kind.
it'd have been a whole lot cooler if you'd let us go.
Be a whole lot cooler if you did.
Do we want to wait for Scott to come back, or do you guys just want to go ahead and go for it?
I'm currently looking for a way to edit my character, so I don't mind waiting.
Let's wait for Scott to come back so I can go put the kids to bed real quick.
We could also stop a little early and start this up next
Here we
session.
are about to get in a battle. Aren't we?
I'm good either way.
Good either
You know.
way. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Or
I think the wild card is how long is it going to take for him to get that
yeah.
back in
Right.
place, settled.
I don't have to wake up as early for the next week, so yay!
Yay.
I'm being loaned out to Fort Benning to
That's nice.
escort African dignitaries around all week.
That's cool.
There's like 350 coming.
Jesus Christ. Why are there so
African
many?
dignitaries.
I don't know. They're teaching them about America and the military.
That doesn't answer the question, though.
I don't know. Well, every country from Africa except for like 4 of them sent people.
That makes a little more sense. I was being stupid and
So it's-
assuming that it was like all from like the same area, I guess.
Yeah, there's like 54 countries in Africa, and I think 50 of them for sending delegates for dignitaries. So, though it is funny, on Wednesday they get to go on a cultural shopping experience, and they chose to go to Walmart.
It's a cultural experience for sure.
You'll get to know
Yeah.
America.
Which one are they going?
That
to?
is-
I'd rather not say when we're still streaming.
Oh, that's right.
You know, that's a good point.
We
No.
this past weekend when we were in Atlanta, I turned on the news, and I don't know how he did this, but the Walmart on Howell Mill Road, this dude got a big old truck into the parking garage, crammed in, like stuck, and he couldn't get out. But I couldn't figure out how he got it in the first place. It's crazy. And
Okay.
the guys were like, at this point, the only thing holding up the top of the parking deck is the truck.
Oh, God.
Oh, so he had like
He had shifted
damaged some
it.
kind of like.
I mean, it literally
Column or
looked like
something.
they erected a parking garage around his truck,
Wow.
and he was in the middle of it. I don't know how he did it. I really
That's
don't.
crazy.
And this is like a parking garage. Oh yeah, the Howell
it's
Mill
like a
Road one. Yeah, I know
parking-
which one it is.
Yeah, Howell Mill Walmart. On,
Yeah. I've been over there a couple times. It just
yeah.
it took me a second. I can think of it clearly now. I've been to that one probably like 3 or 4 times because he used to
Well,
work.
don't go to
at
the parking garage right now.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice Walmart. Like, it's pretty nice. I've been to the Target over there too. Yeah, it's Walmart's go. Walmart is the beating heart of America, so I could definitely see why they'd be like, I want to go there.
And it's also partly because they can get a big variety of things to take back.
The funny
Yeah,
thing
like
is,
little
oh,
knickknacks
I'm
and
sorry.
stuff.
The funny thing was they had the guy on the news that did it too. He was standing there. But nobody bothered to ask, like, how? Like, he was just standing there like,
Explain
yeah, I'm
yourselves.
okay, thankfully. Like, yeah, you look okay. You're standing there. How did you do this?
My whole thing would be like, at what point during this did you realize you weren't gonna make it?
I mean, I can imagine you. Yeah, he probably like hit it, panicked, went for it a little bit, hoping maybe if I go for it a little bit, it'll let me go.
Right.
Just wedged it even harder.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff, I've updated Limdar's picture.
Okay. Sweet.
It's Glimdar with a blue eye patch.
Jesus.
Oh, good. That means I don't need to. I went through all the trouble of drawing a party picture of us when you go switching characters on me.
Don't worry, I'll do it again in another level.
It's very close. Very close.
I use the
Let's
same
see.
exact picture except blue eye patch.
Also, I got an actual commission, so now I'm doing a St. Patrick.
Sweet. That's fun.
Slaying some snakes.
Yeah, his little snakes are down there. He just points at them in his iconography for some reason. But
He's not like muscle bound, and he's got
scolding
a snake,
them.
and he's ripping it in half.
you snakes!
Biting the head off a snake.
No,
He's got a
he,
bodybuilder like flex. He's ripping the snake.
well, they want a St. Patrick and a St. Michael. So the St. Michael actually does get to be like,
Ripping the snake in half.
I think we should start a petition to re-image all imagery of St. Patrick as Jake the Snake Roberts.
So what are we doing? So I don't know if I need to, like, if I'm just putting the kid to bed or what.
I'm just rolling the initiatives. Y'all can roll initiative too. That way, when we come back to the session next week, we can start fighting some Dwegar thieves right in the heart of Targos.
Speaking of WWF characters, have you seen this show on Netflix with DDP?
No, what is it?
Oh no.
It is like a take. It's like a knockoff Watchmen TV series. I forget. It's called Guardians of Justice, and there are parts about it that are really impressive, and there are parts about it that are really kind of schlocky. But Diamond Dallas Page plays like a Batman analog.
That man does the weirdest
Okay.
stuff. I hear his yoga is actually pretty effective.
He's kind of like a Batman analog and the comedian almost, without the the
Right.
really bad stuff. Yeah.
I tried to watch it, and the first episode was so off-putting to me that I just was like, eh.
I was intrigued by the art style, like how it will go from regular film into anime, into like 8-bit graphics, and then into it incorporates it layered on top of each other too. I thought that was neat. That's what kept me going through it. Like I figured out the whole plot, in the first episode. It's like, or just about.
This is fantastic. I can't wait to watch it.
Oh.
Have you seen the previews for that new Nicolas Cage movie?
Yes.
Fun.
Oh,
What
Taylor was
the-
showing us that the other day.
The weight
Is this
of talent.
the one
or whatever.
about him? Is this the one about him?
It's the
Yeah,
one
we're-
where
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
The unbearable weight of massive
Yeah. The
The
talent.
weight of massive talent. Yeah.
I love Nicolas Cage, but
I'm so excited. For
my buddy, I have a friend who has decided he's going to watch everything Nicolas Cage has been in.
That's quite a task.
So, yeah.
Well,
I
that
wanna
would
see-
be-
I want to see
that'll-
Pig. I haven't seen
That'll
Pig
be
yet.
perfect perfect setup for this upcoming movie because I was talking about it last night. Apparently, like Nick Cage has to like channel all of his past alter egos
Oh
in order
wow.
to survive this whatever's going on.
Yes.
Oh, if he does the
Sounds
what was
good.
it? Once Bitten? Was that the name of that movie?
Yeah,
Once Bitten. Yeah.
Is that Nicolas Cage or is that Jim Carrey?
No, well, I'm thinking of the Nicolas Cage vampire movie. I just can't remember the name of it. It's so good. He hooks
Vampire's
up
Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss. Yes,
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, I
movie
remember
is
that.
so good, and he is hilarious in that movie.
Have
He's
you
really good in that
seen Willy's Wonderland?
Yes. Mhm.
I loved it.
He doesn't say a word the whole time.
Yes. Like, I just kept waiting for. I was like, oh my god, he really went the whole movie without saying anything.
Have you
After
have you watched Mandy yet?
No, I haven't.
I love Mandy.
I own Mandy. I own Mandy. It's one of my favorites. It starts with the King Crimson song, and the second it did, I was like, okay, I don't need to watch the rest of this movie to know I'm going to love it. But
It's like a
it-
fever dream.
yeah, it is crazy. There is like a chainsaw sword fight at one point.
You know that was produced by Elijah Wood.
Was it?
Yeah. Frodo Baggins.
He's a weirdo.
Picked into his Baggins.
It's
a weirdo in
it
real
is
life.
so crazy. And there's one shot of Nicolas Cage where it's kind of like a splash page almost, where it lights up his face and he's just covered in blood and he's smiling weird at the camera roll, and it's just perfect. It's everything you want in a Nick Cage movie.
There are people at
It's a
DragonCon
wild
who
movie.
cosplay like Nick Cage, but they're not actually trying to look like Nick Cage. They just have like giant Nick Cage head cutouts and wear Nick Cage face clothing and
Sounds like something else. Hold on.
That's it.
Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, I'm literally linking that video right now.
Oh,
Oh, who doesn't love that?
He's Shia LaBeouf.
Even though he is actually a psycho in real life, not like Nick
Yes,
Cage,
he
but
is.
in a bad way.
That's why it's great. Maybe not.
It makes it a little more
So-
real. Like it's less far fetched, or in the realm of maybe he really is like that. Maybe he is a
Everyone
cannibal.
has seen the Shia LaBeouf video, right?
Yes.
The one you
I,
just linked to.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast and they ran a one shot of that as like a game.
We talked about that one time.
Like you're
It's
the
like
characters
trying to
and-
survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be fun, like in any context. Like if you had someone who was really good at impersonating like actors or something, you could run a one shot of like that exact scenario with insert actor here. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh man. Christy Alley. She's trying to eat you. Oh. Because I know she does all the what is it, Weight Watchers?
Yeah.
Yeah, her dark side is that she is actually a cannibal. Oh,
Like
speaking
that
of
South Park where Sally Struthers is God, why did I just forget his name? Oh my God, how did I forget?
This baby loves puppets.
Jabba the Hutt. Thank you.
Mm.
Oh yeah. There is it's Elmo, the Rosita, and some other puppet, and every time puppets come on the screen now, he just like giggles and laughs and just thinks it's so funny.
Oh, that's precious.
It is adorable. Like Herbie on Songs for Little, he'll just squeal as soon as like Herbie comes on.
Mhm.
Well, so yeah, everybody roll for initiative, and then we'll all be. Oh yeah, y'all.
We did.
I think I
Good
did.
rolls too.
Yep. I want to keep these
Yeah.
rolls.
I'm totally fine with that. And then we'll just pick it up next time. So,
Okay.
to sum it up, y'all are going to look for Garrett,
Gonna keep
Or
calling him
Greg, or-
Harry.
whatever his name is.
It's Harry.
No, you were calling his husband Harry.
No, I mean,
Or
no,
no,
we were
what-
looking for Harry.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Thought it was Harris, but now I'm calling him Harry.
Yeah.
Wait, so what is his actual name? Because now I'm
Harry.
all confused. It is Harry.
It is Harry.
It's whatever you want it to be, Mama.
This has gone the same way as Scram
Um,
Shacks.
Yeah. Y'all are looking for that dude in the direction of Kelvin's Cairn.
I'm not exactly good at remembering any of these people's names, so
It's okay. I'm not either, to be perfectly honest. I have to refresh.
and
like,
you're the
every
one
week.
running it.
That's,
I know. I've got to look into it. Be like, make sure I get those names straight.
you know, that's like the primary reason I want to call them different names, right? To make it extra confusing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll pick back up there. But this directly is because our friend Limdar, aka Sean, wanted to pack in some more quest stuff, which is totally fine. Actually, that makes sense. Move it along. Keep it moving. So this would have happened at some point, not necessarily right here, but
It's right here now.
yeah, we're here. Everybody's here, ready. So, this is part of the main storyline.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna
And
solve
both
the
of
problem
these-
with the Thieves Guild.
It
Right.
will solve. It will solve one of the. This is the introduction into one of the greater overarching threats to the Tin Towns.
All right.
So just FYI, they're not just random dwarves.
So if we
We
were to
don't know
list
that.
off the threats to the Tin Town that we know of, the first one would be us. Second one would be these dwarves.
Second one would be the weather.
The
Weather is the weather is the big overarching one that is like really the boogeyman like threat that nobody can deal with. There's no physical element to deal with. It's just
It's called
endless winter. Y'all screwed.
Yeah.
But this is a much more material threat to the Tin Towns that has not even fully revealed itself, even to the inhabitants of the realms yet.
There's
Alright.
also the possible drug dealing in other towns.
That's true, and that might make a reoccurrence. I'll be honest, I haven't decided. That was completely fabricated by me.
Then
You
it's
don't
obviously-
say.
Then it's the most important thing.
I know I can't just ditch it because I did come up with all of that myself. So it'll probably make another appearance later on, but for now, that is oh, and Bryn Shander at large. Spoiler, it doesn't get destroyed in the book,
Whoops.
but it does now. So
Yay us!
We did it.
you did it.
So
Like I
Love
said,
the town.
we're just playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. It doesn't matter what happened in the books. It doesn't matter what happened last time. We gonna fuck some shit up.
We're gonna do whatever we want.
spoilers, Limdar doesn't know that destroying the crystal destroyed the town. Don't give him a crystal.
He's gonna say, "Ooh, a piece of candy." All right.
We're cool.
Alright.
Well,
Y'all have
I'm